Okay, the time is now 1 o'clock. I'll call our August 18th regular commissioner meeting to order, and we'll start today with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and the first item on our agenda today is an actual addition to the agenda, and that would be Russ Gilliam here to talk about the Historical Museum.
Wow, first, okay. Well, this is one of the few occasions that we want to, instead of asking you for something, we're going to give you something. Amazing, huh? So the Marshall Museum, there's several really bad deteriorated areas on that, and I realize there's no funding for that, and you've done a lot already with the roof and soffit and all kind of stuff. So our proposal is, to make sure it's okay with you, is to identify these bad areas, which we're going to do that on Thursday. We have the DNR representative coming up, and Mark and Jeremy's going to be there, and we're going to indicate these areas are going to be the critical areas. We have a contractor already in line, that's Paul Davis. They do a lot of historic structures, are pretty competent with the group, and we just want to ask permission that we move forward on that. We're going to use our finances to pay for this. And if that's okay with you, and then we don't have to take your staff, even though they do a good job on the windows, take Mark and Jeremy and their staff, take their time to try to work on that house too, between things.
Yep. You guys will remember that we had the DNR grant, and that, that helped us along with many projects. But as you both know, the funds are very limited to move forward, and there's things that need to be done. So Russ called me last week, I believe, and said that the Historical Foundation had the funds available, and they could move forward with some of these other projects that really need to be addressed to get the building restored. So I'm supportive of it, and I'll open it up for any questions for Russ.
Did you guys get quotes from?
Well, they have to see what the job is first.
Okay.
And on Thursday, DNR, Mark and Jeremy are going to indicate those critical areas. Just from my observation, those porches are really bad. You can stick your finger in the wood in those porches, and you can shake stuff and it kind of moves around a lot. So I'm sure they're going to do a bunch of work on restoration of the porches, maybe a couple of the pillars and some of the base, the flooring. Those are the critical main areas that I see. There may be some others, but those are the main ones.
Any other questions?
No, I'm supportive of it. I think it sounds great.
Okay, great.
I would ask for a motion.
I move to allow the Historical Museum staff, and under the guidance of Dr. Gilliam and Mark Sturtevant, to move forward with this project.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Have any questions? Let me know. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. We're going to get moving on this ASAP. So
Okay,
appreciate
great.
it. Thank you.
So I have a motion and a second on the floor. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor raise your right hand, and opposed the same, and that passes unanimously. The second item on the agenda is PDE Land Management Subdivision. Nathan Bilger from Planning and Building.
Good afternoon. So PD Land Management is a 3-lot plat located in the Cherubusco zoning jurisdiction on the west side of town. Being in the jurisdictional area, they go through the Cherubusco Plan Commission and have both town council approval and commissioner approval. What you would be looking at is the acceptance of the dedicated right-of-way for the county road, as well as doubly accepting the easements that are proposed. What is being done and why it's being done, for various reasons, liability, finance, I believe, the owner is splitting their house off of the business area and splitting the tillable acreage off of that further. So could have been a 2-lot plat. They opted for 3 to split that tillable acreage. Comes to you with the approval of Plan Commission, of course. Any questions?
I have none. I would move to approve the request as presented.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there anything further? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And that motion carries unanimously. Moving on to Arrowhead.
Arrowhead Ridge, this one is far different than we see most months. This is the first section of a major plat, and it actually includes not only the acceptance of the plat document itself, as we just did with PDE, but it includes the acceptance of the public improvements that have been made, which would include the road, curbs, drainage, and we don't have to accept the sewer since that's a private utility, and water here is all on wells. They are proposing a letter of credit. They do not have surface down on the roads yet, so the letter of credit would cover that in the eventuality. If it wasn't actually finished, we could use that letter of credit to finish the road surface to spec. I'll let Brad speak to the acceptability of the improvements, because technically it's his recommendation to accept the letter of credit and the roads at least. So, and Ryan, but he's here.
So Ryan did drive out and look at the existing improvements last week. That included the first couple layers of asphalt, the curb and gutter, and the drainage, and that all looked to be acceptable for our spec. And then I have this letter of credit here for $50,000, which is based on a quote they got from Niblock to finish the rest of the road. Ryan did get his own separate quote, and I was looking that up. I don't remember what it was, but it was significantly higher than that. So that is, but it is at least based on a quote from a reputable asphalt company to finish the road. So.
Yeah.
And that comes at the developer's cost.
Yes, so basically we can claim this if they back out of the project before they surface the road, and we then have to go in and finish the road ourselves.
Any questions for Brad or Nathan?
I'll move to approve Arrowhead Ridge Phase 1 as presented.
Second?
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And that motion carries unanimously. The next item is still Nathan, the planning and building proposed joint fee ordinance.
Okay, so I'll leave those for signatures after the meeting. So this, for first reading, because this is just a general ordinance, is updated fees for our primarily building permits, construction permits. The back side or the second side are petitions. Those all seem to be in line still, getting a little close on a couple of them, but still seem to be in line with the cost it takes to run meetings for rezonings and so on. Where we are proposing changes are primarily on the construction fees and not across the board. In 2022 and 2016, we did pretty extensive changes, but now only 3-4 years later, kind of more selective. And it is based upon either corrections, oversights from 2022, there's 1 or 2 of those, as well as primarily just updating the cost to reflect our increasing costs of personnel primarily. For example, new construction for a single family home, base fee currently is $120 plus 8 cents per square foot. It would go to $160 plus 8 cents per square foot. So just bumping that base fee up by $40. Overall, about I forget the exact percentage, it's a rough percentage, I want to say around 5 or 6%, given our various numbers and costs involved. Again, not everything increases. For example, fences go up from 40 to 50. Something like our gas reconnect, which we have to have, the gas company won't turn your gas back on, that stays at 40. Basically covers the time for our paperwork and for someone to go out there. So this is a joint ordinance. Since we're a joint department, it has to be signed, approved both by county commissioners and city council. And like I said, you can feel free to take 2 readings on this if you wish.
And Nathan, we've had discussion, this was something that was reviewed by the Joint Plan Commission Board, the joint board, yes.
Yes. And the fee committee met last
And
week
the
as
fee
well.
committee did meet last week. Rob and I had a chance to sit through that. You had prior arrangements, so I think it explains itself, and as much as he hates to see fees go up, I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
One other note, just for everybody's sake too, it is proposed to be effective January 1. So again, not absolutely critical to get it done ASAP. So January 1's a nice round date.
So this ordinance will be ordinance number 2025-17. Do you have any questions for Nathan?
I have none.
And this is one of those ordinances that we could waive the second reading. We're all in attendance. That's up to you.
I'll move to approve ordinance 2025-17 and waive the second reading.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor raise your right hand, and that motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. We don't have anything else happening in the office, so I'll just go away. Or do you want me to speak to the other thing I have
No.
happening? Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you're welcome to.
Yeah.
Okay, since I brought it up, real
Yeah.
quick.
Just kidding.
We have 2 rezonings pending for the plan. We have 3 rezonings, 2 of which are controversial, pending for the Plan Commission Wednesday night. There's a lot of misinformation about what those rezonings are intended to do, which we are trying to dispel. As it comes to us, of course, we can't be horribly proactive or very proactive in that because we're government officials. But as people ask questions, we, of course, relay that information. The rezonings is one from AG to AGP. As you know, AGP allows for a higher class of CFO than AG does. The petitioner is committing to not doing that 3rd class CFO and definitely not the 4th class, which would require industrial zoning. Their intent is to make use of the ag preservation regulations that are as part of AGP. The discussion will be the merits of AGP versus AG in the area being proposed, but the controversy primarily is over the CFO component of it, which with the commitments really wouldn't be any difference. So just wanted to put that out there, especially since this is being broadcast, to help, again, address some of the rumors.
Yeah,
So.
thank you.
Thank you for explaining that.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, Nate.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the final closeout agreement for the Safety Action Plan grant. Brad, is that you?
It is, yeah. So the amendment in front of you is simply a statement that everything in the Safety Action Plan grant is complete and that the agreement will be fully closed out. We have received all of our reimbursement from FHWA. Our plan has been adopted and posted and has even been used in another application for SS4A funding. We haven't heard back on it yet, but otherwise it's all complete.
Yeah. Are there any questions for Brad?
I have none.
Now, once you sign this, we will send it off to FHWA and they will sign it next week.
Okay.
This only you sign it, I think. You need a motion?
Well, years ago, we made a motion that if something only required the signature of the chairman, that,
You're good.
yeah, that was okay. But, I mean, you can include that in your motion if you'd like, but there is another rule that we imposed that said the chairman can sign, the vice chair signs in their absence.
That's
Well, I would entertain a motion to accept the amendment to the grant agreement.
Oh, so moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor raise your right hands, and opposed the same, and that passes unanimously.
Thank you very much.
The next item on the agenda is the ARPA resolution. We've had some discussion about ARPA, just for general awareness. We had committed $1 million to the Whitley County Regional Sewer District. That would be a local match for their funding for Phase 2 project, which would have been in areas surrounding Churubusco. And unfortunately, the sewer district did not get their funding from the state revolving loan fund, which means there will be no local match. And so those funds that we had committed have now come back to the county. They're no longer committed. One of the things that that we feel is the most appropriate to do is to roll that into what was called lost revenue, amend our ARPA resolution and allow for the county to utilize those funds for other large expenses that would have come out of county general. Some examples would be insurance. Our insurance, I think, is somewhere around $300,000 a month. We could simply make those payments from these funds under the lost revenue category. And again, that will save a big share of money for our county general fund. Did I hit that right? Did I?
Mhm.
So has everyone had a chance to review the amendment to the ARPA plan? And if so, I know that Andy, you had reviewed as well, and so if everyone's had a chance to review, then I would entertain a motion to accept the resolution. The number on that is 2025-04.
I'll move to approve resolution number 2025-04. Yes.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor raise your right hands, and that motion carries unanimously. And the next item on the agenda is the recommendations on positions and compensation for the 2026 budget. We've had some discussion about this, and we've learned that each department would need to submit their, each department head would submit that in their budget request, and as commissioners, we would concur or make our own recommendation. So I've seen all of them that we've received, which I think is all of them. And so at this point, it's on us to either concur, and of course, this is a recommendation to council, but this is not, you know, council is the determining body on what they come up with. So how would you like to move forward?
I move to approve the recommendation on position and compensation as it has been submitted to us from the department heads.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor raise your right hand, and opposed the same, and that passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is payroll and accounts payable claims approval.
Had the opportunity to go up Friday and look through everything, and everything looked to be in order, and didn't have anything that caught my eye as being unusual, so I will move to approve payroll.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve payroll. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor raise your right hand, and that motion passes unanimously.
And also, through accounts payable, everything was in order. And Commissioner Basinger finished the last one this morning, so I will move to approve accounts payable.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve accounts payable. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor show by the usual sign, and that carries unanimously. And the last item on the agenda is our previous meeting minutes approval. Has everyone had a chance to review our meeting minutes from October 4th?
August 4th?
August 4th, yes.
Yeah, everything looks to be accurate to the best of my recollection, so I will move to approve the minutes from the August 4th, 2025 Commissioners meeting.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And that motion carries unanimously. And at this time, I'll open up for public comment. If anyone today would like to come forward and speak, we'll give you the floor. Hearing none for public comment. Andy, is there anything you'd like to add today?
No, sir.
Tiffany, anything from the auditor's office?
No, we are currently, finishing up, trying to finish up certifying our values for next year, so hopefully get that done the next day or two. We're only 20 days behind with pretty much every other county, so
Okay.
trying to get those all finished.
Yep. Commissioner Schumann, anything to add?
I have nothing at this time.
Commissioner Basinger?
Nothing.
And I have nothing to add. So at this time, we'll adjourn the meeting. Thanks for coming.